Welcome back. For 7 decades since independence, we've been saying Vataj. Almost all of us have visited at least once, if not that, the Agra Fort or the Gateway of India or Victoria Memorial in Kolkata. All celebrations of Indian British history or Indian Mughal history. We can't nor should we be trying to purge the past. But amidst all this, to ignore the wonder that was India, the great Vedic past, is an equal disservice to India's conscience and mind space. For years, the Ram Setu that links India to Lanka, long thought to be man-made from the time of the Ramayana, was dismissed as a myth until satellite photos seem to indicate otherwise. Ram Lalla's existence in Ayodhya has been doubted and disputed. The Archaeological Survey of India has now found a 4,000-year-old chariot in UP's Bagpat, that's right, dating from around 2000 BC, with wheels, harnesses, bronze swords and a royal tomb. The first telling, almost in toto indication of the proof of the Mahabharata times. Will this help us recover and rediscover Vedic India? Let's talk and ask why it hasn't for so long. Here's what we know.
We brushed aside the 30-kilometer-long bridge from Rameswaram to Sri Lanka, calling it a mythological tale from our religious scriptures. There have been heated debates over the authenticity of Ram and the Ram temple in Ayodhya. We have even discarded the Mahabharata and the Ramayana as nothing more than folklore. But the latest discoveries our archaeologists have unearthed from UP reveal stunning proof of not just the existence of the warrior clans from the Mahabharata, but also an insight into their sophisticated craftsmanship and lifestyle.
This is the very important discovery. We have taken a trial dig here itself to understand the extension.
Bagpat has now become the center of the discussion because we have seen certain recoveries that have been made from the excavation site of ASI, where they have found coffins, where they have found chariots, where they have found important things like golden beads as well as combs which could date back to the civilization more than 4,000 years.
The Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar, the Victoria Memorial and the Gateway of India. Our history textbooks have been programming us for decades to hail the Mughal and British era iconography.
इन चीज़ों के निकलने से, इन चीज़ों के मिलने से, अगर उसको कहीं इस्लाम से या कहीं हिंदू धर्म से जोड़ा जाए, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बहुत अक्लमंदी की बात नहीं है.
This only further proves that what we have been saying all along, that Mahabharata is history, it is not a mythology, which the British try to foist on us.
But when it comes to historical references to our Vedic past, politicians and historians have often brushed it off as nothing more than fable and folklore. Isn't it time we give India's ancient civilizations and their epics the due they have long deserved? With reporter Shreya Chatterjee from Bagpat, Bureau Report, NewsX.
Open up this conversation. Narendra, Taneja representing the BJP, Anil Anand, the senior journalist with me in the studio, A.K. Sinha, former director of the ASI, and I have Sanjeev Unyal, who supports the RSS, joining us in the studio also. I'm going to request my producer, there's literally a graphic that shows the portrait of what we see, which is Arjun's chariot in the Mahabharata, compared to what has been discovered, and it is absolutely unbelievable. A.K. Sinha, how big is this?
Well, I mean, this is a prototype of, a chariot, or maybe, exact, part of a chariot.
It's life size, I can tell you that. I can't say, of course, if it is operational, but it's certainly life size, and they found a couple.
Yes.
Along with the swords and the other things.
Yes, there had been a tradition, especially in the, Harappan and later Harappan period, to bury burials, to bury deads, along with the goods they were using. And well, in this particular case, it appears that the person who was buried over there might have been using the same chariot. And that's why, the chariot has also been found buried. Well, there are, apart from the chariot, we have also found, the sword, dagger, and other, utensils, earthen vessels.
Yeah, which seem clear that these are warrior clans, and this is Bagpat. This is the turf of the Mahabharata. You can't link it directly, of course, but even in terms of archaeological significance, how high does this rate?
No, it is very important, and well, 2005, 6 and 7, this site was excavated by our friend Mr. D.V. Sharma, and he had excavated 117 such burials at this site, And this discovery, it has,
You know, and there's a reason. And the reason we are having this conversation tonight, I was reading about this in a back page of a newspaper. And let me put that thought to Sanjeev Unnayal. Sanjeev Unnayal, something that is all but, and I can't say confirming, the people more attuned with the facts than I will have to confirm it one day, but all but indicating the exact same, the ones we've seen literally on television, the Arjun Krishan chariot being dated to 4,000 years ago here, and it gets buried in the back pages of newspapers. This is the reason we're having this conversation, because if somebody had said something wrong about the Taj, it would have been a headline story. Why does that happen in this country?
This is the hypocrisy of this country. I am quite surprised what has been given by the very statutory body, that is Archaeological Survey of India. The authenticity of the Archaeological Survey of India everyone knows. When they are saying something that is not the mythology, that is the historical facts. Evidently,
this is as fact as it goes. This is not some inscription somewhere. This is it. This is the
tangible.
Chariot, yeah,
These are tangible things. We can touch it. We are not saying that it is presumably it was there. No, we can touch that chariot
and carbon date them and all these things.
And carbon dating is also there. I am a student of archaeology. I have studied for one paper of archaeology, and I came to know that even the hand grenades and even the small stones, you can read how long it was by the carbon dating.
Yes.
So the chariots are coming in the life size. So it's very surprising. People are not giving any remark at all.
And it should not be like that. It should not be like that. And Anil Anand, of course there are these great monuments, right? And they're equally part of our history. Rashtrapati Bhavan was the Viceroy's palace, as was Parliament built by Lutyens, and they're equally part of India. But these are remarkable things that point to our history so far back. We got into a conversation about Ram Setu, and then it got into a mythological debate. This is not myth. Why do we ignore it?
Bishop, this is very unfortunate. During the last 70 years, either we had the left history or we had the right history. We didn't have the Indian history of sorts. This is a very important discovery. This can lead us to the real Indian history. You very rightly pointed out the Vedic period, the other periods which showed the Indian cultural heritage and history are missing in our history. Precisely that is the reason, because you have left and right history, and then things get politicized for nothing, for no rhyme or reason. One reason is for the sake of votes here or there. My feeling is this discovery is very important. The persons who are the experts, Archaeological Survey of India and others, they must take it to the logical conclusion now. Linkages are established.
Okay.
But now, as you said, carbon dating, all other scientific processes, these must be undertaken to once for all stop this.
Because what a thing, imagine 2000 BC, that's roughly the time when we sort of guess that the Mahabharata was being fought. I'm going to ask, before I go to Narendra, Taneja, my producers, can you take these graphics and throw them full frame so our viewers can actually understand and see, because it looks like a stone chair. We'll get a better indication. Narendra, Taneja, now why is in this country that we have been not paying any attention? I was appalled, that I did not know that this happened 2 days ago, that this discovery was announced in a national news channel, which is why I sent a reporter this morning down to Bagpat, and I said we must report this and debate this, because this is unbelievable. It is touchy. You can touch and feel it. You can see the life-size chariot, exactly the kind that we've seen in the photographs and the sculptures. Unbelievable. Narendra, Taneja, why have we missed this out for so long?
Well, as you know, the 50s, 60s, we didn't have much resources, and by the time we have some resources to go for excavations by a great organization like ASI and all that, by that time leftists, they have practically taken over the establishment called history of this country. I don't want to get into it, but the fact of the matter is, there may be a small section of people who may or may not believe in these things, but the vast majority of India's population have always believed in this. For them, Ramayana is a reality. For them, Ramayana is not fiction, it's not mythology, it's history, it's reality. It's happened here. It's happened on this, on this land. Mahabharata is the same story. So people of India, 99% of India, they believe in it. It's a very small section, out of big cities like Delhi and maybe a few others, they question it, they call it mythology and they call it by all names. But it doesn't really matter, because the people of India, majority, 99%, they believe in it. Okay, so they are not surprised.
But that's not enough. That's not enough. Surely
just in evidence. But they are beyond the point. They know it's all true.
My producer, I'm begging them to pull out that graphic where you see the sculpture which was discovered, or what a chariot looks like, and the actual thing that has been recovered, and literally the paintings of what a chariot is with Arjun and Krishna. My producer not able to find the graphic. I'm hoping they do. Let me quickly, how do we now ensure, Sanjeev Bunyal, that this is the conversation about India also, it's not just about Vahataj and Red Fort, that we can have this conversation and we can show that when you're talking about your Pompeys and your Mesopotamias and your Babylons and your pyramids, come to India. And this is not, and one of the people who were doing the archaeological survey, they're saying that this is a notion, there is a Harappan civilization, this is as much a part of the Mahabharat civilization also, which is equally a sort of nomenclature which we get lost in and forget about.
This is the point. You see, the people over here who are sitting as experts, they are doing so much excavation and coming out with the real proof. And people are ignoring it. What happened to the Ram Setu also? Have you seen? When the satellites and NASA has told that no, some Setu was there, that was Chandigarh, so many stones are also available in that particular Rameshwaram, you can touch them.
It literally took modern day satellite technology to actually trace out that sandbar and said that this is actually one continuous structure. Now there is still a debate on whether man-made or natural, but a lot of debate has happened on this. But again, something that we said, oh, it's a myth, it couldn't have never happened. Now we don't know if it could have happened or not, and that's the issue. How do we get this back into the national narrative?
Yes, I want to say one more thing.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Have a look at the picture of the chariot, okay, and then have a look at what has been discovered. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's
really
We've seen in the mythological Krishna sitting and holding the reins of the horses and Arjun with his barn, and it's a two-wheeled thing. It has the horse halter. It has bronze and copper wheels. It's unbelievable. It's 4,000 years old. What a thing to have happened. Let me quickly
where we have got it. This is very important.
Doctor, we should corroborate it, because that is the place where Krishna has gone to say that it seems unbelievable. This has been found in the same place also.
Corroboratingly, evidentially, it is proved now.
Okay, what do we do? AK Sinha now, it's often frustrating working, I know, in the ASI, because even when you call media over, it gets buried in back pages. When there's a big discovery, and a lot of high profile jobs only are maintaining Taj, maintaining Humayun's tomb. What about these things?
Well, that is the real problem. See, I tell you, I mean, as I just mentioned, that 2005, 6, 7, I know we were excavating Sonauli, and we were getting very good evidence.
That's the same area, yes.
Very good evidence from the same mound.
Yes.
The mound is as big as 100 acres in total area. And only a part of that mound was excavated in 2005, 6 and 7. And again, I mean, ASI has taken, you must have, I mean, heard, noticed, Manjul, telling that this is a trial excavation. It was just a chance discovery. There was no regular planned excavation. The regular planned excavation which had been taken up in 2005 was disbanded without understanding the importance of the finds. And now, well, hopefully the Archaeological Survey of India would continue excavating the site horizontally and come out with better results.
Okay, what needs to happen?
And what is
the historiography of India, the historians of India, the people who write history textbooks in India, now to come together and put the pieces together. Some of it is an intellectual exercise, some of it is a guessing exercise, obviously, some of it is lining the dots, and what kind of support they need to actually give us a picture of the Vedic, because history textbook in India, everything you read about Vedic past, it's all very vague.
No, it's not vague. The most important aspect is that we have not been able to, do justice with the literature. We have not corroborated the archaeological evidence with the literary references, literary material. And well, I tell you, just now I was just discussing with one of my colleagues. He told me that, well, whatever we had found in Sonauli, that goes very well with the, whatever description is available there in the literature, contemporary.
It's unbelievable. These pictures are not ancient pictures, these are modern representations of what is written in the literature, or what they understood on the chariot. Now, except for the umbrella, everything is there. It's unbelievable, and that, I tell you, is at the foot of a tomb that has been discovered, in which they found the bronze swords also and the urns, and we put out those graphics on your screens also. Mr. Anand, what needs to happen now? Now that we have this, what do we need to do? I can organize a TV debate around it, but nothing else. What can we do?
No, TV debates are very important. When we debate the issue, we take it forward to some length. What needs to be done is the collaboration through scientific means now. We have traveled, we are in 21st century when science has made a lot of progress. One thing is that scientifically these things should be proved and put to rest. Two, the science of archaeology is still in a very shoddy position in India. Archaeological Survey of India is starved of funds. You know, we have such a rich heritage and such rich many things to be explored.
So what do you want? You want to get them the best labs, the best facility, the best
and the funds.
and the funds to do it.
Archaeological Survey of India, one agency, we need to create many such agencies.
Okay, you know, I promise you, if this was in Egypt or in Greece, this would have been headlines all over the world. Okay, I'm out of time. I'm going to make an appeal to Narendra Taneja. Mr. Taneja, please take it to your party that this country would like to see these chariots, these swords all put up in a grand exhibition, and the world's press should be invited to let them showcase that this is older than Greece, it's as old as the pyramids, and we would like to make a statement that of what our Vedic period stood for. Mr. Taneja, I'm going to use your good offices to take that message to your party, sir.
Certainly. As I said, you know, earlier, that now the people of India now believe in this. And second thing is that our government focus is to actually mobilize more resources to for ASI and go for use the latest technology and the latest methods so that, you know, we can actually excavate more and produce more evidences for those still might have some this thing, and also build museums, modern museums, in order to showcase these things not to our people as well as to people beyond India.
Okay, it will be great.
Those things are our focus is on that. Just wait for more time and you will see that the government actually investing more.
Okay, it'll be great. It'll be great
expeditions.
That if we can come back in a few weeks, if not a few months, and we can show the children of this country that this is what our history is about, because having studied European history for so long and reading about Pompeii and so many things, what a pleasure this has been. A quick point that Mr. Here wants to make. Yeah, quickly, I'm out of time.
I want to say only that historian has to read the they have to
on the basis of this, yes. Some the history books don't include this. I can tell you I've read a lot of them and they don't include this. They can't even name an accurate date on the Mahabharata because that is also under dispute currently. I'm going to request all of viewers, get your children to have a look. Just Google Bagpat in Google News and you'll find photographs, and maybe that's a start for all of us. We leave it there. Good night.
This program is co-powered by New Nokia 7 Plus. Phones you can rely on.